Hi there. Welcome to Craft with Kathie. I have a quick little project tonight that I want to show you, a quick little live, but I also want to talk about stress awareness today. Stress Awareness Day. Today is Stress Awareness Day. It's also National Donut Day, and I think they kind of go hand in hand. I'm basically a stress eater, so unfortunately when I'm stressed, I crave chocolate. So if it's a chocolate donut, I'll eat it. If it's not a chocolate donut, I'd probably take a pass. But it's kind of like, give me anything chocolate. That's my way of dealing with it. And I realize that is not a really good thing to do. So with all that said, I'm going to get busy customizing these napkins. I'm going to apply the napkin to one of our ink mats. Our ink mats have adhesive, so the fabric sticks nice and strongly to it and keeps it in place while I'm inking. It also acts as a barrier to protect the ink from seeping through to anything beneath it. Especially important if you're inking t-shirts. You want something as a barrier. If you don't have an ink mat, use a smooth piece of cardboard. Just remember, before you heat set, always remove your ink mat. Now, I've previously cut apart some of these individual images from my autumn leaves transfer, and I am just going to randomly put them on one corner of the napkin, and then I'm going to apply some copper shimmer ink over it, over the stencil or the transfer. I like to call them transfers, but you could think of them as stencils on steroids. They're made out of vinyl, which is the teal portion, and silkscreen, and that's where you're seeing through the silkscreen to either white on the backer sheet or you're actually seeing the napkin color here before I start inking it. And then I'm just going to smooth the ink, the copper shimmer ink, over it using a little squeegee. And I might go over it more than once, just generally in the same direction when I'm inking, just enough to squeeze that ink through the silkscreen. You really don't have to put much pressure at all, and then give it a chance to absorb into the fabric beneath it. And then when you're done, peel and reveal. Lift up the transfer, lift it slowly, make sure that you didn't miss a spot. And if you did, just add a little bit more ink and go over it again. It really is as simple and as quick as it looks. Look at this, so easy, and it'll add some fall beauty to your holiday decor. How perfect for Thanksgiving, right? Now I'm using one color here, but actually you could use multiple color inks and actually make your leaves look like fall colored leaves. Wouldn't that be beautiful? We call that the hot mess technique. I'll show you that in some later videos. One rule of inking is to make sure that your fingers are clean. You don't want to have a smudge of ink on your fingers when you lift up the transfer and then smudge your fabric. So watch for that. Our ink and our chalk paste are water soluble, so that basically makes cleanup quick and easy. Here I'm going to clean off my ink mat so that I could reuse it with the next napkin that I want to apply a design to. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now I'm going to do the second napkin. But let's take a little break from this, and you could just watch me apply the designs to the next napkin. I want to talk about dealing with stress. Now, the first thing you need to do is actually realize or acknowledge that you are stressed. And then it's very helpful if you have something to do to alleviate that stress. Now, obviously, I am not a doctor. I'm just going through from my personal experience. But what I have found is crafting is a great relief of that stress. It distracts me, gets my mind off what's worrying me, gives me something constructive to do. When you're crafting, your mind actually slows down and focuses on something positive. It's like a mini meditation session. It lets you melt away the day's worries. And when you're all done, you have something beautiful. Isn't that great? So that's part of what my aim is. Starting today, I'm going to basically create a couple or have a couple little things put together that I want to create so that when I'm stressed, instead of reaching for a donut or some chocolate, I'm just going to grab one of my little projects and get to work on it. Give myself a half-hour break or even an hour break. Most of the things that I've created definitely take less than an hour, and that even includes cleanup because it's so quick and easy. Now when I'm done with these, I will want the ink to dry, and once it's dry, I need to heat set it with either a heat press or with an iron. Very, very simple to do. Set the heat press or iron to the appropriate temperature for your fabric. Cover your project with a piece of parchment paper, and then with a heat press you generally press it for 30 seconds. With an iron it's 4 minutes. Just keep the iron moving. If you're doing something like t-shirts or even like these napkins, when you're done with the side that you inked, flip it over and repeat the same thing on the reverse. Just put the parchment paper down, use your iron or heat press. Make sure you do not have an ink mat underneath because the heat would melt it. And that's all there's to it. What do you think? Quick and easy, right?